Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bucket
Shoot,
Brigade
dog. I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
podcast. My name is Angel, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Wyatt and Theo.
I'm
Wyatt
gonna
goes
fucking
by
shoot.
No Name. Theo goes by the Viking Weeb. I go by Pal. We are playing a little bit of Galaxy Burger as we talk about and question our D&D
Five lettuce?
campaign.
5 lettuce? You're a fucking monster.
In case you don't know, Galaxy Burger is a cooking game.
If you don't know, if you have more than 3 lettuce on your fucking burger, eat shit.
Or lettuce.
Um,
Still no pickles.
Today, we're gonna be talking about our D&D campaign. We're gonna be kind of asking questions, stuff that we couldn't figure out, stuff that that kind of happened in the background that we didn't really get a good chance to find out the ending of it. But first off, do you guys have another song of the week?
No,
I do.
of course I do.
Of course you do. As you should.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Big
So-
man blessed.
Big man blast it. Big man blast it.
The one that I really wanted to say for this week is Overwhelming Power by Left to Suffer. It is a single, and I listened to this song.
Bet it goes smart as fuck, too.
Oh my god. So first of all, two breakdowns. So good thing to know is the way music is set up, there's a bridge, right? You have your vocals, you have the intro to the song, and the bridge is what connects your essentially different parts of the song. A lot of people look at them. I know there's a specific name for it, but I'm blanking, so I'm not going to like pretend I know. But you have your bridge that connects those parts of the song. You got it's like the part that repeats over and over and over. Overwhelming Power only has one of those because
I
the
gave that
bridge
man an
connects.
extra fucking... God damn it.
The bridge connects the two breakdowns. It's so good.
It's also the refrain.
Yeah, whatever you said. Absolutely.
This man's getting an extra set of cheese balls on the house.
Fuck it. He won't complain.
Fucking
But-
better not.
No, that is my song, Overwhelming Power by Left to Suffer.
I like it.
Absolutely a gym song when you are out of reps. When you've done reps to fail or till you're burned out, this is the song to play when you're towards the end of your gym session. It's great.
Yeah. Who needs creatine?
This and one of those long text messages that you have saved in your phone about like
Stop!
how you're a real person.
Stop! No.
They go together like fucking cheese and burger.
Bro, hold on. Time out. I gotta get real for a second. Because of that fucking specific thing, Facebook decided to hit me with a fucking absolute emotional bomb today. Where it's like, hey, here's a memory from Facebook that your mom posted from 6 years ago. And it was with me and my ex, and it was our engagement photos. And I was like, I said, thanks, Facebook. Thanks for reminding me of that. Thanks for hitting me right there where I didn't think I needed to get hit today. Ooh, okay. All right. And I just was like, well, yeah, I want to see it. So I clicked on it, and I'm like, yeah, look at that happy face. You fucking idiot. Look at
tortured
you.
yourself more. Right.
Oh, yeah, I did. Anyways.
Song of the week for you?
Sure, man. Guess what it is? It's Wasted by Tiesto. I like us better when we're wasted. You know the song? The fucking classic song. You're in middle school and you're like, this song comes on at the fucking dance and you're like, ah, I love this song. I love us better when we're wasted. Not even knowing what a single drop of fucking alcohol tastes like. And you're like, oh, this song's so relatable.
So my experience with that song is way different. See, I was in college.
Just I was in
The
college.
age gap really showed there, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want.
Hey man, it's okay.
It's all right.
I'm
I'm the
upset.
youngest one,
Anyway,
technically.
pow. Song of the week.
Good News by Mac Miller.
Ooh, good choice.
What's the good news?
Mac
It's
Miller.
just everything.
Oh
Good
shit.
news.
Well, rest in peace.
Really, I like listening to the song when it feels like I can't listen to music like at all. I don't know, this song just gets me in like just like the perfect mood just to relax and like breathe and just like push through. And so yeah,
Felt.
it's a good song.
Oh man, I gotta think of what songs they were. But when I went through a moment like that, where it's like I literally could not live in silence, where I had to have noise all the time. That needs to be well done. Uh, it'll be like for another song of the week. But if I can figure out what music I listened to during that time, yeah, something that hit. I definitely understand that feeling.
To push us on so we can kind of get away from the song of the week.
Yeah.
Check out our non-sponsor sponsory Rain, which
Rain?
Wyatt's
Shadow.
drinking. I have an echelon.
Go
I have
spin it.
not yet opened.
I thought you said yacht.
Yacht, not yet opened. Um, this will probably be a shorter episode. I want to say, right?
I could see it being short. I could also see this taking the full hour.
Okay. With that being said, Theo, what are some things that you want us to kind of know right off the bat about the campaign that we just didn't know? You know,
Yeah, pop off, King.
So
give yourself a
there's
moment to, you know.
so so much that you guys, and that's okay because that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here
Just
for right
wanted
now.
to strangle y'all.
I have so many pages upon pages written for so many things. Um, for starters, I'm gonna take us all the way back. I'm gonna take us back to the desert planet you all found Phoenix on.
Oh shit.
We were supposed to
Y'all
kill that
left
man
pretty
right
quickly.
then and there.
No.
No.
Y'all left very quickly. The false Hydra's heart was within the well that was in the center of the town.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we really killed that thing and just left.
Yeah.
So okay. Follow up question.
Hit it.
So when Angel was purified by Squishy, how did it wind up inside of him? Was it when he was eaten?
So when he
Was I
was
eaten?
eaten,
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean the mistakes and choices that you made on my character when I wasn't there?
yes.
Shit. How do I get
The
this back?
one time I,
Ah,
the one
fuck.
time I couldn't pass the checks because I was rolling low all night long, and it affected you. But yes, that. So the Hydra's heart was within the well because you left the planet. The Hydra heart did in fact manage to get into some of the like
Party.
blood-ridden sand, and that blood was absorbed by none other than 11.
Uh-huh.
I have in my notes that you actually utilized the Hydra's blood at some point and drank it, and nothing happened. That is why you had the Hydra in you.
Huh. That's funny.
So,
Comes full circle.
additionally, the reason the Hydra reacted, or not Hydra, sorry, the reason the mantle that you had reacted so harshly is because it was the Hydra trying to manifest itself.
That would be fucking crazy.
I am
So
the false Hydra.
you were in control of a Hydra, but when you lost control, it was like an amalgamation of you
Fucking
and a Hydra.
Like when he walked the
And
fucking streets of our ship.
yeah,
you got it wrong,
um,
didn't you?
I don't think I did.
Because a small
I
combo is a burger, not a cheeseburger.
It said
fuck.
cheeseburger. It says cheeseburger.
No, it says burger.
He asked for he asked for a small cheese combo.
A small combo.
Dude, it said small cheese combo because I clicked the fucking pin on it, bro. I'm not crazy.
He's
Hey,
crazy.
go on, Theo.
But one of the other things that I really enjoyed, that was forgotten about, all those weapons that you guys had gathered from the desert planet, you could have sold all of those to Draco Mallory for random shit.
Wow. Because they were all cursed, technically.
They were all cursed. But they were
Amazing.
cursed with like bullshit, like curses. Like they weren't strong, they weren't crazy, but you could have given them all to Draco Mallory. Draco Mallory was a gag character. I used him to help progress the story. He was not intended for the campaign whatsoever, which is why he was killed off.
He said these guys are getting too used to this guy. I gotta get rid of him.
But I allowed you all to give him a finishing blow. Wow, there goes a bun. What did you call it? What the fuck y'all do?
It still works. It still works.
Whatever.
MOG.
Yeah. This is one of those like Asian places to assemble your own. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna keep on rattling off things from my notes that you all missed. Please ask questions or interrupt me whenever you feel the need.
Okay.
Seaful Taigomi's original transmission was not Seaful Taigomi. You didn't roll high
At
enough.
the very beginning of the
Yep,
campaign.
You didn't roll high enough. Yes, that was actually Erebor, because Erebor is a trickster, and no one ever met Erebor because Erebor.
I was about to
died.
say, who the fuck was Erebor?
Erebor was, he was a Netherwalker, and instead of becoming an Anarchist, he chose to become the bourgeois.
Wow.
So he kind of like was a traitor. Speaking of,
Ah.
the bourgeois ended up capturing Mag.
Oh, is that what happened to him? We didn't kill
So
him
he
off and the
becomes-
ship destroyed?
Nope, he didn't die. He actually got captured by bourgeois invaders that were very welcome upon your ship.
Yeah, we
which is
didn't-
why I asked if, like, who was not allowed. They were just welcome. They basically just scooped him up inside of his box, and he's in a prison cell, never to be seen again.
I love that we would just assume he just wouldn't be fucking with us. We're like, yeah, he's probably gone.
Yeah. Wall did die within the ship when it exploded.
Yep.
Um,
The fucking toad. The toad that like paralyzed me in the very beginning of the campaign.
Yes. So that toad was named. I actually didn't give him a name because he was a level 20 monk with
What the
paralysis
fuck?
fist and stunning strike, and you could alternate them. So the way I built this monk was I could, per one action, instead of using basically flurry of blows, which is like 2 hits, he did something called double strike, which allows you to use 2 hits that count as an action per action, and then you could just determine which one you want to use. So basically you get 2 different hits per action, and it doesn't cost an
Interesting.
additional action. So I basically made him hit you with both. He's able to stun anybody that way that cannot pass both checks. He was an informant, and he was also a hermit of that town, and he did not want you to leave where you were because
Crazy.
he was aware that you were missing something.
The fuck was I
AKA,
missing?
he was watching the scenes unfold in front of him, and he realized, oh, you leaving right now would be a severely bad idea considering what's going on here. You should probably stay.
Yeah.
He also knew you were in disguise, so he figured that if anything, you would probably help out the situation. He actually was on your ship towards the end, but he ends up dying.
Oh.
He was an old friend of Moto Mio's, like counterpart.
That's hilarious. I love that. In another world, I met that man.
Yeah. Rosora actually finds him to be one of her close friends, but not super close. More like he's my boyfriend's friend, so I like him.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of, Rosora was never meant to be saved. She was meant to be killed off.
Yeah, I didn't let that happen.
I know.
Well,
That's
to be
why
fair,
she didn't really have anything really to do after that. Y'all kind of exceeded where she would have been able to help.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I gave you that summon, the black dragon that you summoned. I gave you that because of technicality. And I immediately made you a list afterwards because of how crazy of a summon that was.
Well, yeah, because I was like, hey man, the page before it is nothing. And I was like, I can go a page before or a page after. And you were like, go a page after, which I'm so happy because the page before would have been some weak as shit creature. And then you're like, fuck, make a save to make sure it listens to you. And I went, bullshit.
It was. That was a bullshit roll. You didn't have to do that. I made you do that because you should not have had that dragon. In turn, I wanted to make sure that the dragon was still canon.
Yeah.
That's why it was where it was.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, so the side quests that you guys didn't do that we won't be doing as a one-shot ever, the collection of beasts, the 7 great beasts that you guys were supposed to kill.
Yeah.
Each one of them
What
dropped
kind
a...
of fucking Pokemon bullshit is that? Anyways, go on.
So it was more like Monster Hunter. Think legendary Elder Dragon. That's basically how I thought of it. But
that's fair. That's fair.
think of it like you kill it once and you get the weapon. Each legendary beast had some kind of a weapon or armor that would allowed you to beat Soul the first time through. If you had all 7 and you put them where it mattered, like you gave those weapons or that armor or that accessory to someone that could fully use it, you guys wouldn't have lost a soul.
Bullshit.
And that was the only way to not lose the soul the first time. Well, okay, so to be fair, one of the pieces of Legendary Beasts was a stone bear. The stone bear allows you to take 0 damage, and whatever damage is inflicted on you is inflicted on the soul of your target. You can only be used as a bonus action, or sorry, it can only be used as a reaction 3 times per combat. But if you waited for the proper time, you could have got Soul to his second phase, in which he would not have been able to teleport you 10,000 years in the future. So it would have been a fight right there. In which case, you would be able to damage him. I don't know what you're making, but it looks great.
The bread set.
It's what the dude wants. Where
Fucking
are we
need
to
some
deny our
water.
customers?
No, I'll call him stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, fair. Let's see. So the dream you had about Malik, that was a memory.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because when we all saw something that was like the worst nightmare, it was
Yeah.
I went to the 9th ring of hell and saw the Demon King with Malik.
That was how you got banished from that realm, and you
When
were
I
an
got cut in
aethral.
half.
Yep. You were killed in the 9th ring of hell, and you became an aethral spirit, which then attached itself to Sindar because you all were basically equals as far as like your personality type, what you were. but you
I love
only
that.
had rage, and you fed on Sindar's rage, and you became a manifestation of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you had no memory of anything prior. Malik was presenting you to the Demon King as not an offering, but as like, look, this is my son, and I think he'd be perfect for something. There was no conversation that you could have known about. However, he was presenting you as like an option for something.
Yeah.
But that just wasn't going to
Um,
be the case.
question. I know
Hit
there
it.
was a big thing with the Netherwalker like leader,
Yes,
Rysora or something like that. I can't remember what her name was, but she was also a changeling, correct?
she was.
Yeah, and there was a big thing about her like switching sides or something like that. What was going on with her?
Let me get to it 'cause I as well. No.
Some bullshit.
Well, I just remember being like super curious about it, but I knew nobody was gonna go after it because I was like, this literally would only affect me, and we've already done a lot of stuff that only affected me.
This actually would have affected Turner a little bit more, to be honest, than you.
I could see that. I could see that.
But, 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 where the fuck is this page at? I have it. Yeah, here we go. Thing.
You know what? Yeah, I think we did a lot. We did do a lot of stuff that was strictly you.
Hey man, somebody had to push their envelope, all right?
Gotcha. So, okay, Ira was in charge of the Netherwalkers.
Ira, that's what her name was.
Ira had a split personality, which became its own manifestation. It was a phantasmal force that
Oh
became
my god.
Erebor.
Oh,
Erebor
okay.
is the one that sent you the false transmission. Erebor wanted to kill all Netherwalkers.
Antichrist.
No.
Oh,
All Netherwalkers, and wanted to make Antichrists
the main
like the
faction.
only thing, the head faction, but they were still less superior to the Netherwalkers.
Yeah.
Ira, she had a very troubled past, and unfortunately, Genghis Khan is kind of a part of that past. However, uh, her and um, Genghis Khan are technically uh, they are a what's it called when you're like you marry off your daughter, you want to.
An arranged marriage.
Yes, they were an arranged marriage.
Interesting.
Um, but that never happened. Ira became cursed, and um, she eventually had her soul siphoned into the uh, one of the astral planes, which technically you should have been able to see, but you never. And she would have warned you. So her spirit was then stuck in the only last living possession she had, which was the cloak that Squishy had.
Oh, interesting.
Another
Very
thing that I
interesting.
really wanted you guys to get into, which you didn't, I wanted you to fight back against the mechanized more. The mechanized had a huge story. So I'm not going to get
Uh,
into that just because that will be a side quest.
okay.
But just know there was a
Um,
lot y'all could have done.
the fucking what happened with Genghis Khan? He just went back to his
His infinity prison.
yeah, and that's it.
That's it. He never did make it out. Um, when you go 10,000 years in the future, that pocket of reality never existed. So therefore, Genghis Khan just no longer existed. Not dead, just didn't exist 10,000 years in
In-
the future. When you came back
Interesting.
and saved the timeline, he's still in that prison.
And so she shall remain.
One thing I really want to get into, but I'm going to be very vague on a few things as well, is the Sea Elf. The Sea Elf had his own campaign as well. It
Yeah.
once again side campaign, and it will be available for future stuff. But I'll say this: the parts that you all missed. So he was a steady member of your crew for a long period of time.
I believe it. Fucker.
Every time he left, he managed to come back. One of his items was a teleportation device that he actually ended up buying from the Sylvain family. And he was just able to teleport to one specific location consistently, and that was the back area of the kitchen. And he would just come out of the kitchen whenever he so pleased. If you ever would have went to the back of the kitchen, you all would have seen a strange device.
I'm glad that that was always there, but we're like, yeah, why would we ever go down to the kitchen? Even though, it would make sense since that's kind of where it first happened at.
Yep. The reason he kept on
No
disappearing
ketchup.
through portals is in fact because he did have that little switch. Damn,
God damn
yeah,
it.
throw both those away, huh? Let's see. The bugbear that made it back with you guys from the wedding campaign.
Yep.
He was actually a demon.
What the fuck?
He was a demonic bugbear. His real name was Sumac, like the herb, and he was a very, very chaotic neutral, but also lawful evil creature. He kind of enjoyed pain, but like administering it. He's very masochist like.
Nice.
And he was just looking for reasons and excuses to do so. General Kai had a very special power. It was basically the same thing as Gojo's Infinity. The easiest way to break it would be to simultaneously attack, and I gave you all multiple ways to attack together in tandem, and you didn't use it till the final fight.
What do you mean?
So I gave bracelets to you guys that allowed a tandem attack to be done, like a combo attack. And then I also gave Kirkman the ability to call one of his party members to action while he was attacking. It'd be more of an RP style of how to attack, but you would get a roll and be able to attack as well.
Huh.
So
I know I used it.
Like that. You did at the very end. But
yeah,
that was the only time we ever used it, and I gave 3 out. Let's see. If you ever returned to Eleven's home planet, you would have found the Oni.
Whack.
The Oni actually stayed there, and whenever he was not constantly pursuing other gods, he was at the burial site of his son and wife.
And that was at Eleven's planet?
Correct. And the only time he wasn't red was when he was on that planet. He was actually a deep shade of bluish purple because he was no longer enraged.
I'm pissed. Fuck the guy.
If you didn't get close to him and ruined his locket, he would not have joined the fight.
Oh yeah, did I? Oh yeah, I burnt it. That's right.
It started to melt in his hand, and that is the only reason why he chose to join the fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Michael, on his 3rd turn, if the Oni wasn't involved, was going to try to attack the Oni, and the Oni would have obliterated.
Obliterated him?
Yes. He had... So, the Oni has something... he had an angel killing item. Not angel like Pal Angel. He had an angel killing item. His knuckles were demonic knuckles.
Nice.
And upon hitting a holy or celestial being, it would multiply his damage by 10. and he already hit like a truck.
Yeah.
He was a level 18 monk and a level 2 fighter.
Very similar, him and I, huh?
Yeah. He also had plus 40 to his strength and plus 40 to his constitution. And those are the only 2 stats I edited. Everything else was just normal.
Oh, you edit your stats?
I only edited his stats. I also edited a few others. Nosferatu, he had 50 constitution.
You're whack, bro.
50?
No wonder why this fucking
Well,
campaign felt
Soul
so
had
against
50
us.
everything.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I had to make some bosses hard. Also, Soul in each one of his phases, Soul had different
Oh, fuck.
he had different styles of AC. So one of his AC styles was evens, one of his AC styles was odds, and then another one of his AC styles was between 30 and 42.
That was the one that I was like, oh, I have to get above a 30. That's all I know. But I can't do anything over 40. Because,
Yeah.
like, that's where I was, like,
So you
narrowed
were
in.
really hitting them good there. And then when y'all were like, wait a second, I don't know what this is. What's happening? Phase 3 was probably the wackest because it was even only. And like you guys were hitting them 80% of the time. When you all fought Soul the first time, he didn't have an AC.
I believe that.
Because his soul wasn't within his body, it was within the planet. The armor that Squishy was able to summon, that armor was always in the core of that planet. That was his armor when he was like just becoming a god. So Soul wasn't always a god no matter what he said. The history of that was written in the Brigade library that no one ever went to.
Didn't we fucking try and loot a library? Or was that a church that we went to?
That was a church. The Brigade library had the origin of Soul, but it had records of the actual origin of Soul. So, fun facts: gods don't just exist in this world. They have to be created or made, or they have become a god. Soul included. So Soul was a person. Alar was his biological son. Soul was a Verdun.
Makes sense. Dude was rolling crazy shit.
Let's see.
What the fuck? Didn't mean to throw away that piece of cheese. My bad.
You never really did get to meet the what's it called? The bourgeois leaders and stuff like that, but Roderick was basically the leader of the bourgeois, and he was trying
Eldon?
very sure.
I don't know.
He was
I just remember that name.
he was trying to essentially find well, not the creation. He was trying to find the source of the dead space and where it's coming from. The bourgeois would have been a amazing asset to have with you, but having Mag and his troublesome nature that he created for you all, you became a target instead of a ally. Purgatume, or not the Purgatume, sorry. The bourgeois would have aided you a lot quicker, and you could have stopped the dead space from taking the galaxy.
I believe it.
Instead of
So the bourgeois
having
would
a
have
fight.
helped us more.
Yes. The Sijics, since you decided to like aid with them, they were more lore and history. So a lot of the stuff you got from them was just like gee whiz information.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would have chose the bourgeois, you would have had less. But since you chose the Sijics, you got more information. You just had to do more yourself.
That's fair. Oh, fuck, I gotta do a fucking another one of these stupid fucking burgers.
The Univores, the only humans in the galaxy, that's actually, no matter what I hear, that's where Phoenix was originally born, since he was a human.
Okay.
If he would have ever removed his helmet,
We
someone
would
would
have
have recognized
known.
him. No, someone would have recognized him. Anyone else that was a human, any humans, period, no matter where you say you're from, you actually were born on that planet.
Very
So,
interesting.
because once again, I said humans are super rare at the very beginning, and that was the only planet that was housing them. Rail, the sniper that you all killed for General Kai.
Sorry, Angel.
It's all right, man.
Uh,
It's all right. I'm just
First Mate
sit
Rail
back.
was the he was actually he had a whole side quest to him. It's not doable now, of course, but
Yeah,
Why
killed
the
the
fuck
fuck out of
not?
that guy.
you could have instead fought with him against General Kai,
Wow.
and you could have become the captain leader or the pirate leaders if you chose to go with him. That was that quest line. How you
Very
handled
interesting.
Ivana would have been the sway of the battle.
Wow, I don't know how I would have won up. Yeah, I feel very confident in the way we took that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if you saved Venix, the plasmoid medic, he would
Mm-hmm.
have at the Supermax prison. He would
Yeah.
have actually been able to do multiple things that would have assisted all of you in some way. Uh, First off, with 11, he would have made sure the mantle of yours never became haywire. He would have the uh he would have removed the fuck.
The bullshit
I'm
that
drunk.
would have made it to like roll
No,
for it.
no. The thing inside of it, the fuck, the false hydra. He would have removed the
Oh.
false hydra from it, and the mantle would have been strictly the stats that it was,
Uh-huh.
and he would have at some point asked you to amalgamate with your mantle, and he would have become like a stand.
Oh,
Oh
so
shit.
that's how I
So
was
he would
gonna
have been
be
to
able to
don the
do it.
mantle. Yeah, he would have been able to don the mantle with you because he'd be like a part of you, and he would have become the stand that would fight next to you.
Wow. He would have donned his glass with no issue.
Right.
What the fuck, Angel? Why didn't you do that? Why'd you
Because
let me
somebody
kill?
killed
Why?
Venix.
Why?
We
Why'd you
Now,
let me
to be
kill
fair,
him?
had it.
Venix could have been revivified because the warden had a revivify scroll on him.
Yeah, but we didn't fuck with that dude. We just kind of blew up his
No.
ship and left.
Yeah.
And then he tried to like pull us down with the ship, and we just shot his ship
Uh, one
more.
of my favorites that y'all missed, and I will also save this one for a side quest. The Lizard Man Captain Rogue Pirate.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
He
Didn't
had a
fuck with that
huge
dude anyways.
he had a
In any
huge
way,
treasure hunt quest,
I bet he did.
and you all would receive one legendary if you assisted him.
I fucking bet.
All you had to do was turn in the, I guess, the shy lizard boy that was with you all.
Oh, oh,
And he would
yeah.
have not been able to ever meet Alar because he was
He
on
was Tom.
contract for Alar and Mag. So,
Makes sense.
as long
So
as you
was
could
so
have
was he
persuaded
never?
him,
Was he not a bad guy? Was he just neutral?
he was strictly neutral, basically a paid mercenary.
And so the whole slave trade thing he was a part of.
That was a job.
Huh?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't fucking with him.
Although I didn't edit any of his stats. I gave him a 17 and everything, and he had a bunch of crazy equipment.
Yeah, you're telling me you killed my fucking rock giant in one shot.
Yep. Um, that.
Jumping a little bit ahead, was there anything about the God Hand that you can share? Like with the name that they were called?
Oh, yeah. So the God Hand was a place for dead gods to go. Basically, it's the god graveyard. If you ever become a god, you go to the God Hand. Think of the God Hand like, oh, you were a great god. You go and you'll become a member of the God Hand and you'll replace the oldest of us. But if you're a bad god, you will get banished and the God Hand will absorb you. So they were like the power to judge gods.
I love that. I love that canonically our characters are now that.
Correct. Well, if your gods died, you would become that.
Well, I mean, you did mention after 10, that motherfucker. Ow.
The only way that you could have saved Sindar was to achieve godhood before he died. By
Yeah, I
law,
figured.
he would have had to be a god hand regardless. So Sindar could have been
Trust me, I
in
thought
the god
about
hand.
multiple ways I could have dealt with that. One of them was as soon as I realized I was fucked, I would crush the orb that my dad gave me to just reappear back on the ship and be like, so there's a god after us.
But everyone was there.
Yeah, everyone turned up. I thought we could take them. We couldn't.
There were a few items that you could have bought from Draco Mallory that would have nullified any vampiric touch that Nosferatu had.
I believe it.
There was also a dagger that I gave somebody, not 11.
Dude, I swear, dude, you fucking told me that there
Hey,
was.
I did.
I gave
The dagger was speaking to you. It was from the older 11, 10,000 years in the future, trying to get you to not do certain things and tell you to not, or to accomplish certain things, to not end up in the timeline he was in.
And all we
Because
did
your
was just
actions
keep telling him he was
split.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That-
your timeline and your choices frayed the timeline you were in into multiple outcomes. Thus, whenever you did find him, he's like, "All right, cool. Well, need to give him the information to get back." 43 was his son.
Oh, didn't we fuck with 43 like a lot?
Yeah, no one liked 43.
Yeah, we heard him a lot.
Yeah,
Sorry, not
that was
sorry.
his. Yeah, that was his son. Um, I'd like to think, and I this isn't necessarily true, but I would like to think at the very end of the campaign, the story was being read to a small, young child version of all of your characters.
I kind of fuck with that.
But like,
that's where Wyatt's campaign picks up. We're all just little children.
So, actually, canonically, my campaign takes place before all of that. Like, any of
yep.
that happens.
Thus why
I
my
doubt
gift.
they're gonna. I was gonna say that I don't think they're gonna watch this episode, but Theo's gift from my one shot is actually General Kai, the
Wow.
hippo. Yeah, wild, right?
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't make a giraffe person.
Or another cow.
Yeah,
Dude, fucking. Oh, man.
that was wild.
Hess's character in this campaign is something. I'm wanting to
Um,
know how long he's going to commit to that bit.
I don't know. I think he can do it forever, honestly. But
It's
let
us.
me wrap a few more up here. All of the factions, there was a side quest that I will not let be available just because it's far too long. And with the rate at which I noticed you all play, you wouldn't be able to figure it out or finish it. I'd have to
All
tell
right.
you what to do.
Just call us stupid, why don't you?
You know what? It's not your fault, honestly. It's the not enough questions fault. There was a way to unite all the factions against Soul.
Yeah, we didn't even think about that, to be fair. We just went, yes.
Um, and the only person that got relatively close, to be honest, was Phoenix. The
Oh, yeah,
best
because he
way to
reached
do
out.
it, yeah, reaching out to the Empire side and getting a hold of their factions
Yep.
and putting them in contact with the leaders of the factions on the Republic side would have been the only way to do it. It seems so simple,
But
but
we
like,
really just didn't care.
yeah. So if you basically said, "Hey, Mister Prime Sijic, talk to this Sijic from the Empire," which, by the way, the Empire Sijic was number 21.
21, 21.
Yeah. Sijics, Prime Sijics don't get names; they actually lose their names. They do remember what their original name was, but they are not allowed to say it, or else they lose their primehood.
So they're like Optimus Prime.
Uh, no, but they do. So primehood for a Sijic basically gives them they can't forget knowledge. So if they gain knowledge, they won't forget it.
Interesting. Mike
And when you
Ross
become
from
old in age,
Suits.
you could forget anything, right? I mean, shit, even I forget to brush my teeth, every now and again. You know what I mean? So, like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine being super old and, like, knowing everything. And as long as you don't say your original name, you can just always remember everything.
Jazzy.
Yep.
I like it.
Um, Ivana had a penis.
Yep. Yep. You told me that at the end of the campaign, and I was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
I don't think Solaire would say anything. I think he would just kind of accept it. And then I think the
Um,
night that he lost to Ivana, he was like, "Oh my god, I did sleep with Ivana.
It makes so much sense. It makes so sense.
um,
I
what's
see it
even
now."
funnier, uh, all right, so you know how Hess had like a real child with the Thrycreen, yeah?
Yeah.
So all the eggs were eaten by one of the children, and that was his only surviving children.
Holy
So his
fuck.
child ate all the other kids. And it was really emotional for him, but like that child ate the rest of them.
Listen, man, when you create a monster like that, yeah, no shit, it's gonna fucking eat the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what he
Uh,
expect.
the Thrycreen that Hess married or ha- became, I don't know, she died pregnant. The
Wow.
reason she died is because her species, one of the parents has to die to fertilize the eggs,
Very
and
interesting.
she loved Kirkman too much, so she died.
Aw.
Yeah. Um, there was a wild spacer that wasn't super rambunctious that would have helped you guys out a lot. Uh, his name was Vixax, and he was a astral elf, and he ran a band of phantasmal spirits that worked with him. He was a
Nice.
free NPC if you ever found him. Uh, he basically he was like an informant. He would always have the latest scoop, the latest knowledge from one of his phantasmal spirits, and he was great at locating people or things.
Wow,
You
that's
could have used
wild.
him to pursue the sea elf.
Because that's what I would have done with Sindar if he lived long enough.
Yeah.
He would have been that guy with the fucking old blood. And that's all I wanted to do was create a knowledge-based system that Sindar would just have a lot of information whenever anybody wanted to know.
His phantasmal spirits could take the appearance and the skills and basically become a phantasmal version of anyone that has died, that he has access to. He only had access up to level 6, not characters, but like level 6 spells. So he would have been able to do anything up to level 14. He could have made an astral projection, essentially, or a phantasmal spirit of Sindar.
Nice.
That being said, the wish spell, although it wouldn't have worked to bring Sindar back, it would have created a clone of Sindar that was probably going to be another phase spirit or something like that.
Okay.
But it was possible to bring Sindar back as Sindar, but it wouldn't be your Sindar.
Yeah.
The
hollow
ball
version.
that none of you all used, the little tiny the black crystal ball that was free Speak with Dead, you could use that for anybody that's died.
No. Because Sindar tried to contact his father, and it didn't work.
Correct. Your father was not someone that's able to speak from the realm that he was in.
Yeah.
So, yes, you could speak with anyone that's died, but no, you can't speak with people that are in a different. There are a total of 7 realms. You all have explored 3.
That tracks. Really quick, what was with the fucking eggs that you gave us? The egg of like the traitor, the egg of the champion, and the egg of the martyr.
So, we weren't supposed to eat them. We're
Yep,
supposed to
but
break them.
Yeah, well, the gods lied to me.
It was actually an attunable object. If you attuned to it or spent like a long rest trying to attune to it, you would have been able to essentially gain the knowledge from it, and you would have acquired a free skill, basically. All you had to do was attune to it. And once you attune to it, like, you would no longer, like, how am I trying to say this?
Could have crushed it then.
If you would have attuned to it, so you would have it unattuned to something, attuned to it, that thing that you've attuned to, that egg, essentially, you wouldn't be attuned to it anymore. So it's basically like a one and done. You attune to it, the egg goes away, you have the knowledge, you can now reattune to whatever you had originally.
Interesting. Yeah, because you gave us that and fucking didn't do anything. And I was like, I don't know what I missed here. The gods said crush it, I crushed it, and then nothing happened.
They didn't want you to obtain the knowledge, basically. They're jealous.
Well, they're fucking piss ants.
Yeah.
Fucking hated them.
All the old gods that inhabited you, they all had so many flaws that they bottlenecked a lot of information and power to themselves. Very greedy people.
Yeah, I blindly followed their will.
Yeah. Kor was actually, he truly was a god. And he hated Malik more than anything. And there was a way to subdue him, so he didn't attack you.
Yeah.
But you would have had to have proven that you were a good guy and not like Malik way sooner.
Well, I feel like everything I did was just proving his point.
Yeah, a little bit. But he would have aided a lot with the Battle in Soul because he would have been able to utilize dragon armor on one of you. And if you're wearing his dragon armor, you get all the benefits. So
very nice. Shitty, but nice. Homie was not a man that to be fucked with.
Yeah.
No quarter. Okay.
The knight that you all fought, that was the headdress of the time dragon.
Yeah.
That knight was a well, not a phantasmal spirit, sorry. That knight was the spirit of, where is it at? That was the spirit of Ira, what was left of her.
Oh, jazzy.
So, 10,000 years in the future, Ira's spirit still lived on, and that time dragon basically created a knight out of it.
I dig it.
She was unkillable. She didn't have a health pool. She could just take damage. She returned to the headdress due to the dragon stopping the fighting. It was pointless.
Cool. She knew we would have beat it.
We would have won.
Yeah, we would have.
Nah, I'd win.
I'd win.
The Aarakocras were the only race in the entire universe that were racist.
Yeah. Really? I feel like the
Okay.
mechanized.
Besides the humans
Oh, whereas all
on
the
that planet.
mechanized on the fucking Republic, they were all zombies, right?
They were, yeah, they were basically zombies, but some of them hadn't fully changed yet. You couldn't really tell the difference because the armor piloting them was kind of the thing in charge of their brain. However, the being inside was used to power a lot of those suits of armor that were sentient. Once the thing inside became a mindless zombie, the armor itself became like full power. So the zombie ones were the strongest. The ones with people inside that were variant humans normally were like the normal foot soldiers and a little bit weaker. So basically,
Very
Warhammer 40k Primarchs were just zombies inside of a sentient suit. The ones without heavy armor, which most of them had heavy armor, you could use disarm to remove them from their armor.
I know I tried. I might have succeeded on one. To
Correct.
be fair, as no, they need to be well done. I hate us. I'm trying to think if I have any more questions. Oh, how close was Robert Sylvain to be executed? Because I know there, I can't remember why, but he was going to be executed.
He was in fact going to get a stay of execution. His lawyer would have interrupted.
Oh, cool.
I'm glad
So-
he had a lawyer.
Yeah.
Remember, kids.
Yeah, he had a lawyer and he was going to pay off the judge when the lawyer interrupted, so he wouldn't have ever been executed.
I love that. For my father.
Yeah. Let's see. A lot of the side quests that you guys were doing had an effect of a lot of background stuff that was going on. The more side stuff you did, the more stuff in the background that went on, of course.
Uh-huh.
Let me see if I can find my list here. Oh, there was a rap battle side quest still available to do during later on sessions. It would have given whoever won expertise in performance.
Wow. I bet Hep would have killed that. Chess would have killed that.
There was a mine that was inhabited by creatures. If you would have went in there and killed all those creatures, there was in fact a legendary bow in the mine that created
Why?
its own
What are you
arrows.
doing?
What do you mean? We have to
Oh,
make 3
my
of
bad.
them.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't see 3.
Tiny ass little stove. But yeah, there was a legendary bow in there, and with each pull of the string, you could whisper a type of element, and the bow would change to that element.
That's jazzy.
There was a bleeding tree quest. I won't speak on that just because that one is still doable. I will say this though. If it was done by a certain period of time, it would have had a huge effect on the story.
A side quest?
Yes, but because it wasn't done, it doesn't have a huge effect on the story.
Fun, fun.
But I don't want to tell
Yeah.
you either one because once I tell you what happens,
Oh,
it
does
would
that
ruin the side quest, which could be done later. The bounty on Mag got up to 1.5 million talc.
What was Zach doing, bro?
It was his ability to stay away and stay out of, for lack of better words, he was running from the cops too much, just consistently. The prison break was actually to break out a Dragonborn. That Dragonborn is based off of Thorn.
Wow, that would have been awesome, but we just
It
never
would have
fucking
been,
did it.
it would have been, in fact, Squishy's second character.
Wow, that's hilarious.
The fortune teller side quest I kept telling you about, that was to locate the Yellow King. You probably all put that together after the
Oh
fact.
fuck!
That
I didn't even
fortune
nope.
teller quest, yeah.
Not even once. Not even once. Oh, we never even said
Uh,
that last episode. That the fortune teller was the Yellow King.
yeah. Just a few more here, and then I think protecting the princess on a planet, the side quest for that. That was the start of clearing the dead space.
Wow. Amazing.
There was a Whispering Cave investigation
Huh.
that would have provided.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, that would have given somebody the Crown of Devotion. Crown of Devotion allows you to read other people's thoughts and change them at will as a free action.
God damn.
Ooh, that's a powerful. That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Uh,
I would have to stay
it
away
takes.
from Hess.
I will say this though. It takes all of your attunement slots.
I fucking would have done it.
I know. Yeah. It doesn't even matter. For some people that didn't care for attunement slots, that would have been an amazing.
Me.
Yeah.
I don't think I was attuned to anything.
Last but not least, Jaju, the spirit,
Yeah.
was actually it was supposed to be the spirit of Kirkman's mother.
Wow. You just really wanted to traumatize Hess.
He became really funny, and I made sure that he became serious.
Let me tell you, he was still funny in the end after he fucked a dragon for 18 years.
Yeah, that, you know what? I let him have that one because you gotta give small wins to people when you scar them.
As often as you did.
Yeah. 11, you could have found your grandpappy again.
Grandpappy.
And he would have explained to you how leaving the planet is what he had in mind, but like at the same time it was. And he would have given you a whole like "I'm proud of you" speech. He also would have given you the family sword, which was just a sword made of blood.
Jazzy.
We love that.
Love to hear that.
I'll go ahead and tell you the stats because I spent an hour making this. It's a plus 10 to hit. It can extend up to 10 feet as a free action. Any cut done with this blade, per turn, the damage is rolled again. It is an 8d8.
Ooh.
Wow. That hits.
And every turn that you cut somebody with, you would re-roll an 8d8. Downside, it does 1d8 to you every turn you're holding it.
It's okay. He heals all that anyways when he attacks a motherfucker. So
Facts.
Well, no, they have to attack me first.
I think
True.
I
Yeah.
think if Angel would have came to me and been like, "Hey man, can I make another homebrew character?" I'd have been like, "No, fuck off. I want to make a
My
character
favorite part.
based off of the
Well,
Elden Ring guy." No.
technically, the awakened mushroom is a homebrew, but
Yeah, the mushroom is, but not
it's not
the
really.
class.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. My favorite part about this katana, though, which was completely a me thing, I added a. You're able to go into a rage, but it's not a regular rage. I actually homebrewed it on D&D Beyond. It is called Bloodlusted Fiend Rage. Um,
Jesus.
for every attack that you deal damage, you can re-roll your damage at will. So if you get a bad roll, you can re-roll it if you want to. You can take either or. So if you get something worse, you could take whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
While in this rage, when you get hit, it is basically you get compelled to a duel. So if you do get hit by somebody, your next attack has to go for them.
So it's like compel duel.
It's it's basically a negative effect. However, your movement becomes 100.
What the fuck?
And then probably one of the better parts of this weapon, anytime something bleeds, you gain a +1 to your attack roll. So anytime you cut something or anytime somebody in your vicinity bleeds, you get a +1. You can eventually stack that indefinitely.
Damn, should have gotten this fucking
So
weapon.
it would
Yeah.
be ridiculous.
Also, shouldn't have thrown my mantle on Wyatt when he was dying.
So
For
to say,
real.
Vixen. Vixen. Um, and then the final one that I have, the ice dagger that I gave you all that no one ever used. The ice dagger was actually a key to a chest that was on the planet where the sea elf tried fucking you all. There
Yeah.
was a chest on that planet, and inside that chest was magical ice armor that could make the wearer invisible as a bonus action.
Very, very interesting. That
A lot of overpowered items
There were a
that were
lot
just
well, there's
because there's a
underused.
also
lot of things.
the berserker armor
Yes. So
from Berserk.
there was an old man, probably on the first planet y'all actually ever met on, that there was a shop, and I remember someone was trying to piss off the shopkeep. I forget who it was. His brother was in the back working on a weapon, and if any of you would have seen it, you would have known it was the Dragon Slayer.
Yeah,
He was working on the Dragon Slayer the entire game until he died.
it died.
As far as the Berserk armor goes, when you were all in the woods, specifically in the woods on the maze planet with the big
Yeah.
labyrinth, embedded in one of the trees was a gauntlet, and no one rolled a perception high enough to see it when going to Mallory's house.
Bullshit. Is that
If
what the
y'all would
goat
have
was
saw
trying to
that,
show me?
yeah. The final piece of the armor was on the decaying boy body in the labyrinth.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Well, before I give you kind of like a lot of the aftermath stuff that happened, is there any other random questions? And this part will take like 2 minutes.
I don't think so. At least I don't have any questions.
I'm trying to think of stuff off the top of my head. I can't really think of anything, to be fair.
Well, by all means, feel free to ask me whenever you want, unless it's something to do with a ongoing side quest that we can do in the future as like a one shot to give you a break, No Name, from your D&D campaign,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to answer it. As far as Aftermath goes,
What are you doing?
Look at
what are you doing?
look at the recipe, man.
Yo, you're not looking at the recipe, dude?
I fucking
Damn,
guess not.
fucked up. Whoa. So as far as like the prologue, right? Or not prologue, sorry, the epilogue. Everyone kind of knows what happens. Everyone lives, normal life. They go on to be gods. Call that normal if you will. And this book is being read in the future by 11, not the player, the Sijic, to a bunch of kids. As far as other people and what they do, so Robert ends up passing away, and he passes on everything to Seaful. Seaful establishes a very well and successful company that is no
Thank
longer
God.
a like bad backwater company. He is a frat boy though, and is in trouble.
God
Yeah, he
damn
gets in
it.
trouble a lot, but he's the head of the company. For Rosora, she opens up a forge,
Good for her.
and she specializes in weapons and enhancing weapons. As far as Miyamoto, he did die in the crash. However,
Yeah.
the frog sat with him, and they died together, drinking and playing a game of like.
Liar's dice.
Sure, but I was
Liars
trying to think of the
dice.
one that old Japanese men really like.
High show.
Pie Show, that's it. So, yeah.
Uncle Arrow.
Yeah,
Facts. Pavlov survived the crash.
I believe it.
He is now he's basically a coyote version of Two-Face. Like half of his
Oh,
face
hold
is
on.
bone and scorched.
What? Does he fucking live with it? Like, did he ever meet his brother again?
As of where I have him, no. But
Damn, that's wild.
but it's possible because they're on the same planet.
I love that. I love that for them.
Yeah. Let's see who else.
Pull that out of my hand again.
I'll do it fucking again. I'm going fuck.
Oh, the axolotls. They. Oh no, I think I said this already. The axolotls like repopulated. They have a whole planet now, and they pray to Squishy as their
Yep.
divine god.
Yeah, you mentioned that and in the campaign, but I mean, you haven't mentioned it here.
Oh, Harry Squatter's family reestablished their nobility,
Don't know
and
how.
he is now a martyr of the family, and they included his like his hand with a bunch of fire spells coming off it as their house sigil.
I love that for him.
Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Oh, the two minotaurs that Rosora befriended, they're gay lovers.
I love that. Very random, but love that.
Oh, the auto gnome that was the second in command for the mechanized. She was based off Alita from Battle Angel.
Battle Angel.
You guys could have recruited her. But
Nice.
basically, she is now in charge of the mechanized.
Whack.
Big winning. Big winning. Girl boss.
And the last thing that I have is Oh, the spell that Squishy never got to learn in the book was a alter reality spell.
Jesus.
It there's two ways to use it, and it depended on how. So the
I
first
figured out
way,
how to use it.
yes, the first way, if he would have done this, this spell would have only been able to do this, and that is, as a free action, he could change things, as in like he could almost break the fourth wall, but like that's it. He could alter dice rolls. He could alter damage rolls.
That's fun.
Kind of like how Soul did to you guys upon your first meeting.
Yeah.
Same spell. If it didn't do that, he would be able to walk through dimensions. So he'd be able to go to a dimension where Sindar was stuck in a prison and never died.
Yep.
Sounds fucking awful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there for the beginning of that.
Yeah. But that's about all I have, gentlemen. That's a lot of stuff that was happening in the background. I do have a lot more, but for time's sake, I'm not going to go into it because most of it was just perilous little side quest stuff that didn't tried to only touch on the stuff that would matter or affect the main story, or that was just kind of on my mind important.
I think the only thing that I'm curious about is when do you think you'll get another campaign up and running?
To be honest with you, one of this stock, probably not for a while. However, I will say this. I do still have my Avatar The Last Airbender campaign ready, which I just need to fill in a few bits for the, I guess, the main cause, the main story.
We could do a
And then I
bucket
have an
load of
Alien
fucking
versus
D&D.
Predator campaign, which is kind of like the one we just got done doing. You can finish it whenever you want, or you can take a long time enjoying the world.
I could absolutely see us doing that.
But the story of that one is really hard, and I mean, you start at level 10. I'll leave it at that.
Interesting. I already kind of know the character for that I would want to make. It would be a Fire Genasi with the religion around Solaire, but as a Drake kin, kind of like the guy that stabbed.
Not you fully embodying these origin stories that we've created.
Yeah,
I will say this. The
absolutely.
one thing I love about this campaign, and not even me tooting my own horn, this is like stuff you guys did. You created so many origins.
Yeah. I know I'd want to make a Drakekin, not a Drakekin. I mean, that I do. I do want to do that, but I would also want to do an Oniborn at some point.
Those are cool as fuck.
Because I think that would be a lot of fun. No, there's no point in starting another one. We're about to end.
Yeah, I know, but I want to finish this out. At least get to the third star. But go on.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Look at him. Look how close we are.
He's on his fix.
He's feeding.
Oh, you should have bought the extra customers. But yeah, I know that was a big thing that we were talking about was like the amount of stories, because like you added the character that was in the dungeon of Nosferatu purely because I had a dream about a character that was half like part Drake, or like maybe like part Dragonborn or something like that, but it was like an experiment gone wrong essentially. And long story short is I found out that's already a thing. I thought I thought my mind created its own race for D&D, just to find out it's just a fucking Drake Warden. It's a Drake Warden. Holy fuck.
You really fucking took that out of my hands, and wow, man.
Yeah, how's it feel? How's it feel? Tell me your exact feelings. It's just hatred, right? Yeah.
Hey, we did it. Now we can really start cooking.
But I like a lot of the small stuff that I wanted to incorporate. You would either just be like, yeah, absolutely, or you would just be like, okay, I see where you're going with that. Let me modify this. What the fuck?
Yeah. I really did enjoy the amount of stuff you wanted to do in the campaign because it made me add just so much depth and so
I,
much layers of things.
as someone who had a lot of time on their hands at that time in their life, I was willing to put a lot of effort into my character. I don't think there's 3 tomatoes on this. I lied. Um,
Look at the recipe.
Hey guys, how about you guys just fucking talk? All right.
okay, but I did like the amount of effort I did put into my character. It definitely was the most I've ever developed a character, developed their backstory. I know Sindar, I did a lot with his backstory, but then Solaire was, I don't know his backstory. His backstory is being written now. And then turned out, boom, the DM made a backstory for him that I didn't even know about.
Well, I wouldn't call it a backstory. I call it more of an origin. I feel like you created the backstory. I gave you your origin.
Yeah.
But I
Valid?
think they're a little different. You know what I mean? Backstory is like, why am I the way I am? Where origin is, how did I start?
Yeah,
How did I become?
that's fair. That's valid. And it was a lot of questions that I had to ask where I'm like, oh, do I even know this? Or does Solaire know what this is? Because he's from hell, but like he knows he's from hell, but he doesn't remember it. And I enjoy doing a lot of shit like that. I also it liked that you fed into like telling you, hey, I want X, Y, and Z to be done with my character, or this is where the direction I'm focusing on, and you would help with that. You'd be like, all right, cool. I know the direction you're going in. I can help, or I can give you direct like more directions on that. Where it's like, do you want to take this route, or do you want? You can also take this route, or completely say fuck that idea. Maybe you take this route.
Yeah. I like that too. I liked bullshitting and like brainstorming. And I think that is the essence of what makes D&D so fun.
Agreed. Agreed. And on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to bed as soon as this is over. Because it is almost midnight here.
Hell yeah.
Thanks
I have
everybody
work
for
tomorrow.
joining us as we finally finish. Yeah, as we finally finish this episode.
Finally.
If you didn't enjoy this content, you can check out our other content. We have similar content, and as well as other gaming stuff. Check
And
out
also, if you don't like this content, why the hell did you watch an hour and 20 minutes of it?
Well, why'd you
I mean,
skip
you only have yourself to blame here at that point.
facts?
go check
Angel,
out
what do
the
you got to say?
Viking Weeb. And with that being said, we'll catch you in the next episode of the Bucket Brigade podcast, The Bucket List.